Welcome everyone to week 3 of the Summer of Well-Being series. This is KC. Just let me know in the chat room as you get situated if you could hear me. I guess I could share my camera too. Sorry and you're welcome. You can see me. Let me know if you could see me and hear me in the chat. Just give people a second here to let the room fill up. Hello, Deborah, can you hear me okay? Excellent, and can you see the content on the screen? Myself included? Excellent. Thank you. You're not supposed to play favorites on these types of events, but Deborah, Emery, you are my favorite, at least for the next for a few minutes or so. Samantha, you can see and hear me, great. Excellent. I've been so looking forward to this. We survived what I think is probably the most challenging week of this program, which is holiday week. So I'm curious to know how the holiday week treated us. We're going to get into that in a second. But welcome to week 3 of the Summer of Well-Being series. This is your jolt for week 3, and my intention and goal is to give us all the loving kick in the butt that we need to stick with these healthier habits. So let's get it rolling here. Let's start with the self-assessment. How would you grade yourself, your success over the past week? So 1 second, I'm going to deploy this poll. And here we go. Let's hear it. How would you grade yourself? Just remember, we're basing this on our past commitment from the last session, which was you got to decide if you were going to try to do 3 times in the next week, 4 times, all 7 days, whatever it may be. But just evaluate on how you showed up over the last week. Yes, I love the person or the people that are going for F. You barely showed up. Everything got in the way. I mean, what was it? Was it jet skis? Was it ski-doos? Was it too many hot dogs? I mean, the 4th of July is a can of worms. There's a lot going on. Should have about all the way. All right, we're just going to give it just one more second here. Get in your votes. All right. Anybody under the wire? Wow, we have quite the bell curve here. All right, here's our results. Most of us falling in the middle, solid B, showed up just about all the way. I would probably give myself somewhere in there, missed some opportunities. And then we have, you know, a smattering of people that aren't super happy with their performance. We're just going to get complete on that right now. Forgive yourself for how you did last week. We're in this week now. We're going to keep going. But it's important to notice how we evaluate success, and again, how we talk to ourselves about how this is going. So be kind to yourself. That's the first rule of Fight Club. and then also show up tomorrow and do your thing. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna move on here. Well, how did it go? And if you could hit me in the chat with what was actually in the way of you staying consistent last week. Our theme last week was consistency. What was actually in the way that you found? Was it the, you know, I traveled with my wife last week, a totally different routine, so much more free time without the kids with us, but still like feeling the need to be at her side more than doing what I would normally do. What was actually in the way of being consistent? Let's hear it. Oh, Michelle, knee surgery, that's it? That's all you got, Michelle, is some knee surgery? It's about the best reason possible. Okay, Cheryl, too many things on your plate. Sherilyn, I gotta be honest, like that sounds like nothing compared to Michelle's knee surgery. Wanting to stay up longer to share time with my family and watch fireworks. Yeah, accommodating other people's schedules. Michelle, you're a lover and a giver. You don't need to accommodate everyone all the time. Yes, I find myself travel weeks and time off with the family. I feel the need to be there at their beck and call for everything. And I feel guilty pulling away. It feels kind of selfish. But we got to remember that the things that we do that fill us up and keeping our own integrity high, our self-integrity by showing up to our habits, it gives more to share with others. So it is kind of a fallacy of thinking, but I do that so much as I give in way too much to other people's schedules. Any other things that were in the way of staying consistent? All right, our week 2 theme, I'm sorry, that should say week 3, is sequence. And when I say sequence, what I mean is that when in the day that you do your thing plays a huge role in how consistently you do your thing. And I had a breakthrough in this recently. My coach said, why would you try to fit in all this meditation and running and all these things just to then sit down at a computer for an hour and write? You need to write the second you open your eyes, get that out of your way when you're still clear, and then you could go celebrate by doing all the things you love to do. And just that little reframe was so helpful in me getting the 4 times a week in that I'm doing with my writing practice. So I want you to think about when in the day that you're typically doing this thing, and if it's the right time, or if we could dial this in a little bit more. So I tend to believe that each of our practices build upon the thing that precedes it, and the results are powerful. So in my recent example, I actually benefit from having sleep just before I wake up to write. So like when the house is quiet, there's no kids to get in my way, nobody needs any food or anything, I can just get that hour and a half of uninterrupted writing time and be super happy. The day feels like a win because I made that big deposit. I can close the laptop, head upstairs, and now whatever they need, they get it. So I want you to think about what time of day you're doing it and what's possible. I'm not saying everybody needs to wake up and do their thing and get it out of the way, but what is possible in my routine with a little more intention and or design thinking. And what I mean by design thinking is, we tend to get really excited about like unboxing new things or moving into new spaces and putting up new curtains. So this little new habit that we have, consider the movie WALL-E. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's about it's a little Pixar movie, the robot that gets stranded on Earth in the garbage planet, and he finds his plant and he protects it because it represents basically the future of life. But this habit is similar. It's fragile, it's new, it's creating root systems. But if you were going to design the ultimate setup for that thing to thrive and be successful, what would it look like? What time of day would it happen? Remember, we don't care about how long it needs to happen. We're not about duration. We're all about consistency. And at some point I decided in this program, we're going to commit to doing it all 7 days in between and see how we do with it. But if you had to set yourself up for success over the next week, what little tweak would you make in the time of day, the schedule, the routine to give more possibilities of success? What could that look like? What could you do? Debbie says, mine is getting to bed earlier, getting more sleep. I feel it's reasonable to apply the habit Sunday night through Thursday night and allow some flexibility on Friday, Saturday if I am to succeed. I like this. I like your language there too, Debbie, because you're basically unattached, but success is absolutely on the table if I am to succeed. That's very even statement. That's even language. I love it. It has equanimity in it. Deborah says, yes, I had to move my walks from taking a break in the day to early morning and have been doing better pulling my 13-year-old dog. Yes, that's great. Yeah, so there's actually a worksheet I was going to give to you. It's on my website, and I can just give you the option of going and finding it. It's at thisepiclife.com/morning. I'll share the link here later, but it's a design process for your ideal morning routine. And it lays out all the rules that we talk about here: consistency over duration, celebrate every little win. And these are the components that actually work in creating lasting behavior change. Believe it or not. I know it might seem very sloppy and airy-fairy. I might seem too nice of a coach, but trust me, you're getting it done here. So if I had to show you my tracking sheet from the past week, I lowballed myself and said 3 mornings because of the holiday week, and I did 4. Granted, one of those was just maybe 15 minutes of just organizing my thoughts for what I wanted to write when I sat back down, but it helped me out today, and I'm counting it as a session. So again, it wasn't the duration, it was just showing up consistently. So with that, I want us to come up to a comfortable seated posture, and let's just reflect for a second. Let's just slow down tune into the image on the screen, gigantic pause button, which is always in my world, that means permission to chill. Permission to chill from all the expectations we have on ourselves. How am I doing? Am I showing up enough? Am I really doing this? Am I not doing this? Let's just set all that aside. Let's set all that stuff aside for a second. And let's just tune into our breath. So come up to a comfortable seated posture. And let's start by just a deep breath in all the way down to our abdomen. Eyes closed, chin parallel to the floor, shoulders down, back, all straight lines. Straight lines, chin parallel to the floor, perpendicular knees, parallel thighs to the floor. Just come up to a comfortable seated posture. Take a deep breath in for the count of 4, all the way down to your abdomen. Let's just hold it for 7. 5, 6, 7. Big exhale through your mouth for 8. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Big exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. Now on the next breath, just pick up the steady rhythm of your breath, in and out through your nose. And with each breath, let it draw us more fully into this present moment. And more into the long view of this 6-week program. And looking where we are now, at this point in time, kicking off kind of the halfway point week. Offering ourselves a little acknowledgement that we're already doing this thing. We're already showing up more often than not. Opening ourselves to the possibility that we are becoming the type of person who sustains this habit over the long term. And as you tune in with the breath, just take a second to acknowledge anything that's in your space or in your body, thoughts, feelings, body sensations. What is one little benefit you're noticing of doing this work, of showing up and doing this habit? Is your mind a little bit more clear? Is your fuse or your patience just a little bit longer? Are you a little bit easier to smile, quicker to laugh? Just remember, the hard work is in between all the days where we have to show up and do this by ourselves without support. But right now we get to savor, we get to appreciate, we get to acknowledge. So acknowledge yourself for being that person. And take a second, you could open up your eyes, but just take a second and do the havening process. Just rub the arms opposite shoulders, from shoulder down to elbow. And you could do the old pat on the back move, which is, oh my gosh, you're that type of person. You're doing this work. Not bad. Feels pretty good. So as we continue, you could either continue the Haven or you could just recite with me. Let's just share the positive change affirmation. Is that I can choose to create any level of positive change I commit to. Feels pretty damn good. I think I'll continue. I can choose to open my heart and mind to changing through all resistance. I can choose to open my heart and mind to changing through all resistance. I will choose consciously to improve. I will choose consciously to improve. If you say it long enough, you just might start believing it. That's the danger of affirmations. They sound corny and they feel corny at first, but then they get in your bones and you start believing it, and then you get drunk with power. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what's on deck this week. I want you to make your declaration for the week on your tracking sheet. I'm going to write down right now 5X. I wrote down 5X on my tracking sheet for this coming week. I want you to revisit the past weeks. You can check on the resources. This is on the SharePoint in your internal system. The HR team has been doing a great job of archiving this stuff in SharePoint, or you could also go to this link, which is thisepiclife.com/whole-life-replays. Send to all. And on this link, if you ever get lost in our journeys together, you will find everything retroactively in this one place. So it's Whole Life Replays, that is there. And also, if you want that worksheet I mentioned, go to thisepiclife.com/morning and grab that. And commit to showing up next Tuesday. I mean, are you in it for the duration? Or right at time here, but let me know in the chat if you plan to be here next Tuesday. I'm just gonna get this, I'm gonna yell at everyone in all caps. I plan to be here because Michelle Scullin is counting on me. I will be here next Tuesday. Yes! If Michelle Scullin's coming, I'm coming. Patty, yes. Dawn, yes. I plan to be here next Tuesday. Shirley, that seems a little squirrely. It seems like you plan to, but you might have it. What about I will be here? Let's practice I will be here next Tuesday. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Awesome. Kathy Davis, awesome. Yes, indeed, I will be here. I love it. Well, thank you so much. That concludes our Jolt for Tuesday. I will see you next week. I will be 5 times into my habit by that point and look forward to sharing. All right, thanks so much. I hope you got what you came for today. And if you need to email me, want to reach out, everything is on that link at thisepiclife.com/whole-life-replays. Yeah, we're almost at the halfway point. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I'm just going to pop this in here one more time, which will, that's if you need it. Replays. Oh, don't mind the accidental Zoom link. That was still on my clipboard there. That was not intended. There we have it. Have an amazing week, everyone. Great work. Talk to you soon.